Have you ever noticed that the moment someone tells you what to do, even if it's good advice, your first instinct is to do the exact opposite? Most people call this being stubborn or difficult. But in the world of psychology, this reaction has a much deeper name: psychological reactance. It's not about being rude or arrogant. For a specific group of people, an order isn't just a request. It's a perceived threat to their freedom. If you find yourself resisting authority or questioning every rule, you might belong to a rare group of individuals who share 5 distinct, high-level psychological traits. These aren't flaws. They're signs of a deeply independent mind. Trait 1. A high need for cognitive sovereignty. First, these individuals possess a rare trait called cognitive sovereignty. While most people look for external cues to decide what to think, you rely entirely on your internal compass. To you, your mind is a private territory. When someone gives you an order, they aren't just suggesting an action. They are attempting to enter that territory. You don't resist the task. You resist the trespass. This need for mental independence often correlates with higher-than-average intelligence, as it requires a brain that is constantly auditing its own thoughts rather than accepting prepackaged ideas from others. Trait 2. The pattern auditor mindset. Second, you are what psychologists call a pattern auditor. You don't see rules as absolute truths. You see them as logic puzzles. Before you obey, your brain automatically runs a diagnostic check. Asterisk, does this rule serve a purpose? Is the person giving the order competent? Is there a more efficient way? If a rule doesn't pass your logic test, your brain literally refuses to load the instruction. You don't reject authority because you want to be a rebel. You reject it because your mind cannot prioritize a flawed system over a logical one. Trait 3. High internal locus of control. The third trait is a powerful internal locus of control. People are generally split into 2 groups: those who believe life happens to them, and those who believe they make life happen. If you hate being told what to do, your locus of control is likely shifted heavily inward. You feel a deep, biological responsibility for your own outcomes. Because you are the one who will face the consequences of your actions, you feel you must be the only one making the decisions. Being told what to do feels like someone else trying to grab the steering wheel while you're driving at 100 miles per hour. Trait 4. Acute sensitivity to inauthentic power. Fourth, you have a radar for inauthentic power. You are uniquely sensitive to the difference between earned leadership and enforced authority. You will happily follow someone you respect, but you will find it physically impossible to take orders from someone you perceive as using their position to feed their ego. This trait is often seen in individuals with high emotional intelligence. You see through the title, the suit, and the loud voice, and you focus instead on the character of the person speaking. If the character is missing, your cooperation vanishes with it. Trait 5. Identity-bound integrity. Finally, you value identity-bound integrity over social harmony. For many, it's easier to just go along with it to avoid a conflict. But for you, going along with it feels like losing a piece of yourself. Psychology suggests that your sense of self is tied to your choices. Every time you follow an order you disagree with, you feel a sense of cognitive dissonance, a mental pain that others simply don't feel as intensely. You would rather endure the discomfort of a confrontation than the hollow feeling of being a puppet. Hating being told what to do doesn't make you a problem child or a difficult employee. It means you are a self-governed, logical, and highly aware individual. You don't need to be managed. You need to be respected. If you recognize yourself in these traits, you aren't alone. In fact, your resistance might just be your greatest strength. What's a rule you've always refused to follow? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Think Bright for more insights into the human mind.